This is our last Sunday of playing with the ideas that Louise Hay has been giving us in her book, You Can Heal Your Life. And I have my own copy now. I bought it last week. And if you wanted to borrow it, the borrowing one is back in the library at this point in time. Yeah, and you got your copy. Good, good. So as you came in this morning, you will see that there is a mirror in front of you on your table. I thought it would be good for us to play this morning with our mirror. So can you bring the mirror out? I want you to bring it up and look yourself in the face, right in the eye. And I look at, now be quiet now, because you have to do this. You have to do this, okay, the right way. You're going to look yourself in the eye, and you're saying, I love and approve of myself just the way I am. I love and approve of myself just the way I am. Did you smile? Yes? How did that feel? How did that feel? Was it easy? Huh? Was it easy? Was it good, huh? If there was any sort of hesitation, if there was any sort of angst about it whatsoever, what you need to add to that is, I am willing to change. I am willing. I am willing to change. Louise tells us that for every habit we have or pattern we repeat, there is a need within us for it. The need corresponds to a belief we have. The webs we create around ourselves need to be unwound. If you have ever untangled a ball of string, you know that yanking and pulling only makes it worse. So you need to be gentle and kind and patient with yourself to unravel your mental knots. Get help if you need it. Above all else, love yourself in the process. The willingness to let go of the old is the key. That is the secret. I love and approve of myself just the way I am. That puts you in the now. That puts you in knowing that it's not what I was yesterday, not what I was when I was a little kid. It's not going to be whenever. It's right now that we are experiencing life. And so we need to let go, let go, let go. As I mentioned in my thought for the week, the holidays are upon us. Woohoo, right? And so for many of us, these holidays are an opportunity to gather with family, with friends, and we do sometimes have the opportunity to have our buttons pushed, exercised, brought about. We know that there's nothing I can do, there's nothing you can do to control what somebody else does. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. But what we can do is have our response to them coming from ourself. That's the only control that we have, is how am I going to respond to whatever is presented in front of me. That's really what I have need of. I remember, I think it was Course in Miracles, not quite sure. But I love that thought that says, would I rather be right or happy? Both. There's a truthful woman over here. I am. If I'm right, I am happy, right? You have a choice. You can be both. You can be both. Well, it's all up in your own mind anyway. You make it all up. So, you can make yourself right if you want. That's fine. That's fine. So one of the ways that she gives us, she's all sorts of exercises in this book things to really work with, to physically do, to help us move out of this stuck, move out of these knots that we create, these webs that we weave ourselves in, and to continually clean our slate, so to speak. And she has this one that's called the letting go process. Because so many of us, that's where we get so angst, is that we make up all these things in our head and we keep thinking about them, I wish that it would have been this way, or I wish I would have done that, and you're not going to change the past. It's done. It's over. Let it go. And so she says to take a mental scan, and you breathe and relax. And here's what she says to do. I am willing to let go. I am willing. That's all it takes, is just willing. I'm willing to let go. I release. I let go. I release all tension. Feel that. Breathe it in. I release all tension. I release all fear. Wouldn't that be lovely? I release all anger. I release all guilt. I release all sadness. I let go of all the old limitations. I let go and I am at peace. I am at peace with the process of life. And I am safe. You see, we have this I am that is whole, complete, perfect, divine. That is our true self, as I put in the thought for the week, the capital S. When we know that true self, then all the other little mind chatter that the ego wants to tell us can be calmed. But I am at peace. I am at peace. It makes all the difference in the world. I like what she talked about. You know how we talk about the fact that you think of something in the past, and then you want to change it, or you're regretful, or you're sad, or whatever the case might be about it. And she said, wouldn't it be lovely to be able to have a memory of what happened, but don't have any emotional angst that goes with it? Wouldn't that be lovely? Because so many times we go, I'm just not going to think about that. Scarlett O'Hara, I'll think about that tomorrow. But if you could think about it and not have the emotional angst. She writes in here about the fact that, remember what you wore in third grade. Remember like a little outfit you had or something that was special. You wore it in third grade. It's a memory. It doesn't really have to have any sort of emotional tie to it. It's just something that happened. And that's what our whole lives are, just things that happen, and we're the ones that add the story to it. We're the ones that add all of the drama or all of the whatever the case might be to it, when we're actually living right here in the now. So we're continually letting go, letting go, letting go, cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. The Course in Miracles says time and time again, forgiveness is the answer to almost everything. Forgiveness. And in my estimation, the only person that we have to forgive is ourselves. You're right. See, the smart people always sit in the front, don't they? Louise says, the things you don't like about those people, you see something in somebody else, you're pointing your finger, and guess what? The things you don't like about those people are either what you yourself do or would not do or what you believe. You could not attract them or have them in your life if the way they are didn't somehow complement your own life. They wouldn't show up. All of our relationships are like the mirror. Our relationships are the mirrors of our lives. And they're there to give us a gift. They're there to help us to be revealing something perhaps, to be healed, to be able to let this bright light that we are, this love that we are, out more. Because we know, we practice this knowing that it's really all one. There is no separation. We're all one. One. We all look different. You know? The divine is absolutely, never reproduces itself. Always unique, always individual. But below that golden thread that pulls everything together is all the same. That love is all the same within us. And so when we can get our viewpoint, get our perspective from that stance, we're able to forgive ourselves, first and foremost. Be able to clean. How many of you have somebody's mentioned in their demonstration this morning, Ho'oponopono? Ho'oponopono. Won't say it so fast. Ho'oponopono. How many people up here need to know the key of what the steps are? Everybody know the steps? We need a reminder, huh? Okay. They are. You begin with, I love. Love. Whatever it is. Me, the situation. Whatever situation is giving you angst, just say, I love. What's the second one? I'm sorry. I am sorry that I am perceiving this as something negative, something derogatory, something that's causing me angst. I'm sorry for that. Please forgive me. Who are we talking to? We're not talking about Aunt Minnie. We're talking about me. Please forgive me. And the last step is thank you. It's done. Let it go. And move on. That's that Ho'oponopono process. Do it 4 times. Repeat it, exactly. And because we talked about last week that repetition causes habits. That's how we create all our habits in our lives, is just by repetition. Well, choose the habits you want. You know, if there's a habit that gives you an issue, then be willing to change. Be willing to let it go. I wanted to share with you this morning a reading that I read from the Daily Word. The Daily Word's reading this morning I wanted to share because, for a couple reasons. Number one, first of all, there's always, how many of you know about the Daily Word? Unity's publication. There's always a word of the day, and the word of the day today is faith. I live in steadfast faith, knowing that my needs will be met. Today begins the Advent season, a time when I am reminded of the unlimited capacity to experience the presence of God within. With faith, I hold the keys to the kingdom that open all doors to a full and joy-filled life. Even though I have faith, I may need to call upon patience or strength as I wait for a door to open. I may need to apply wisdom and understanding while making an important decision. Perhaps I will be guided to demonstrate unconditional love or conscious generosity. My answers come to me naturally and easily. Any assistance needed becomes available. Any divine idea comes my way with clarity. As I move through the Advent season, I do so with excitement, with love, and with great faith. 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 13. Keep alert, stand firm in your faith, be courageous, be strong. This is the beginning of this Christmas season. It's a time to reflect on our truth of what we are. We are made in this image and this likeness of the divine, as is all. It's a time to be joyful. It's a time to be happy that we know this truth and that we are living it, that we're not denying it. It's a time to open up our perspective, always greater. Because whatever we have within us is enough. truly enough. When we get away the layers that cover it up. Last week, as we finished up our meditation process, we had two Science of Mind ministers in the room with us, and literally they both stood up and they both said simultaneously together, "It's all perfect." And I loved it. I thought, yes. So I've been using that one as my mantra during this last week. It's all perfect. How good is that? Yeah. No matter what my individual perspective might judge otherwise. Our master teacher told us to judge with right judgment. It's all perfect. Do I have any other takers? Is anybody else willing to work with that mantra this week? Is that a good one for you? The thing that I loved about that daily word reading was the idea that everything that I have need of comes to me in ease and grace with clarity. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm just different, but I don't think so. You know what gives me a lot of angst is indecision, wondering, should I do this? Shouldn't I do that? We've talked about shoulds, haven't we? We don't want to should on ourselves. But this questioning comes up. And what we want to recognize and know is that we want to stand firm in our faith. That this God self that I am, yeah, maybe my little ego mind doesn't know at the moment what's going on, but if I tap in, after our meditation this morning, someone said, that still small voice, we need to get still to hear it. So if we get still and listen to that instruction, that clarity that's coming to us through us, life is good. Now I want you have homework today because you're all going home with these mirrors. I want you to think, this is another process. You do the first one. What was the first one? I love and approve of myself just the way I am. Okay, that's number one. Now the second one is, it's Christmas season. Anybody been shopping? Online. Well, I went shopping at our local merchants. Black Friday. I don't know, why do they call that Black Friday? I don't like, whatever. Anyway, I went shopping and I bought myself some things. I bought, gifts for other people. In fact, I was with some ladies yesterday and we were out, they were shopping in little shops and such, and one of them came back and said, "Oh yes, I got this, and so my husband's going to give me this, and I got this, and my sister's going to give me that," and so that's one of those women, that know what they want and are able to get it. So we're all, this time of year, our thoughts naturally go towards gifts and giving and receiving and all of that kind of thing, right? So one of the additional exercises that you're going to be using with your mirror is you're going to sit in contemplative, meditative energy, listening to your God self, to your higher self, and you're going to ask, what is it that I want? What is it that I want? It could be a thing. It could be an experience. It could be anything at all. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. It could be a being. How would I like to be? And really get with yourself and listen and know what it is. And now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your mirror out and says, I deserve to have or be, and then you fill in the blank. Does everybody have something right now they know? If you have something right now that you know about, and you wanted to say it real low, you can do that. So we have to get your mirror out. I deserve to have or be. Let's do it again. I deserve to have and be. I deserve to have and be. Somebody likes somebody else's, huh? I think I heard, did I hear strawberry? What was that, Robert Redford? Now, Jerry, remember, it takes patience. Every day, you got to create the habit. If you have any sort of resistance to this, saying that it doesn't work, here's what you're to do. You say, I release the pattern in my consciousness that is creating the resistance to my good. I deserve, and then you go back to it. I deserve. If you really knew Robert Redford, you may not want to be him. Let me try, huh? So we go back to releasing the need in our consciousness of the resistance. If I'm not getting it, there's something that I'm doing that's blocking myself from it because it's here. It's available. It wouldn't come to your mind unless you could have it. You deserve it. Let yourself, this coming season, know who you are. Release the past. Let go of all the angst. Uninstall the buttons so that nobody can push them. And see truly the love that is right here. Our topic this morning is called Build and Crossing Bridges. Building and crossing bridges. I think that's what our life is all about. We go from one instance to another, from one event to another, from one life experience to another. Those are our bridges that we are building, that we're creating, that we're allowing Spirit to provide for us. And when we cross that bridge, we're ready to face another one. We're ready to build a new bridge. That's the way life works. I wanted to close with a reading from now Saint Teresa, Mother Teresa, Saint Teresa. Actually, I got this. Look at this. This is a beautiful postcard. And I picked it up at my new dermatologist office. And on the back of it, it says, we welcome your feedback. And they want you to let you know how you liked their service. But you've heard this before. And I just wanted to share it again. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good today. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. We are one. Let that truth, let that love, let that joy, let that peace bubble up from within you. this coming season, and literally do the work if you need to. Play with our mirrors this coming week. Know how much you deserve to be happy. That's what life is about. And so it is. Namaste.